Thanks for joining us today on The Perfect X. My name is Sherry, and this is my co host, Ben.
Hi everyone, this is Ben.
And today we're talking about intent.
Intent, yes
Intent.
we are.
Ha-
Before we start, I just wanted to ask everyone to follow us on the perfect underscore X on Instagram, and they can also email us at the perfect X at hotmail.com without underscore.
And TikTok, The Perfect underscore X. I posted our first TikTok.
Perfect. Now on TikTok too.
I posted it yesterday for the first time. It took me like an hour and a half to figure it out. I'm so old.
I know.
I'm
I,
so
I'm
old.
I'm glad you're doing TikTok because I'm like, I don't know that. I don't have even the app, so
I
yeah.
didn't either. I had someone who has a really good following in LA told me that that's how he increased his TikTok or his increased his following was through TikTok. So like downloaded it, tried to figure it out. I mean, I downloaded and kept the name a while ago, but I didn't think we'd ever use it. But I tried to figure it out. But
Perfect.
more importantly, how many times did you go to the gym this week, Ben?
Every day.
Shut up, really?
I swear, every day I
Even
woke up.
today?
Even today, I woke up. Yesterday, I didn't go. I usually go out like on happy hours on Thursday. I
Uh
didn't
huh.
go to happy hour. I went to a friend's house. We just had dinner. Her dog was kind of like coughing. I thought the dog had something like stuck in the throat, and no, well, eventually she went today to the vet, and she has like a cough.
Kennel cough.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not a vet, but yeah. So they gave her like medicine and everything. The dog's fine. But yeah, it was kind of like, so she didn't want to go out because she's like, my dog is weird, you know? And so I went over and we had dinner and we were just like, just hanging out. But like, I behaved. I didn't drink at all. Like, I've been going every day. Even today, I went at 4:30 in the morning. I woke up
Oh my
and
god.
by 5, I was working out.
I can't believe you get up that early. Do you still think the girl's cute? Have you talked to her?
Oh no, I'd say hi. No, but also I don't know because there's another trainer, a guy, and
Uh-huh.
I kind of feel like they might be something.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of awkward. That would make
Yeah,
sense
so
though. Couples like that work. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I mean, you can find out. You could start talking about the podcast, and then you'll find out who's single and who's not.
yeah, true. I could, but yeah, so I'm just like, I don't know. I'll see. But yeah, so
You should drop in like next time you're there on Monday, just or I guess because Monday you're going to trip. So like Tuesday next week when you're there, just be like, hey, like just so you know, everybody on the podcast is listening to make sure I come and I'm held accountable. And then they'll be like, what podcast? And you'll be like, oh, it's called The Perfect X. And then she'll be like, oh my God, I'm single or I'm taken. And you'll be like, if you're single or taken, it's worth listening to. And you'll find out.
of course, yeah, yeah, I'll bring it up. So I'm also like the new guy because there's a lot
Yeah.
of people like have they go already to this gym and
It's
blah blah
like a
blah.
cult. I know I was part of
Yeah.
this. Yeah. It's like
So
once you're
yeah,
part of the group, you don't leave.
yeah, I feel like the new guy, like, hi, I just moved here, you know, like, so, but yeah, so I don't know. See, I mean, I just feel she's cute. That's all. I mean, she could be married. I don't know,
I know,
but
but
yeah,
it's still fun. It's still
yeah,
fun.
I know. But yeah,
But
I've been going every day, and I promise I'll go all next week. I have to like, I'm already like, I mean, I already went a week, so now I just have to follow through and just keep going and yeah, and complete it and yeah.
I feel like you're like the nicest people I've ever met were the people I used to work out with every day. I used to go to this gym. I think I'm always bad with timelines, but I want to say it was at least 3 years every single day I went. And like, I remember being the new person at first and like, I was so out of shape and all I wanted to do was get healthy. And the ladies were much older than me and they were like tip top health shape. Like, and everybody from every size, like, was just so healthy, like, good energy, like could run very far. And like I was chubby, but like I could barely like run to the end of the street and back. And these people were like, so I was like determined to like become like them, and they just totally embrace you and like get you going. I loved it. But they were also the nicest people to this day, like some of the nicest people I've ever met. And I still like that gym closed during COVID, but I still like talk to them and they're still like the nicest group of people.
Yeah, I mean, everyone has been like really nice, and there's like this older lady, and she has like something on her knee, and so she has to work out differently because like she can't do like low squats or stuff like that, and so she does like something else. But she's always like, "Come on, Ben, you can do it!" Like, and I'm like, okay,
That's
so
so cute.
yeah,
I
I
love
know.
that though. I love that. Honestly, like as my parents age, like in our culture, in Persian culture, like working out, it's not like white people were like your parents go skiing with you. You know what I mean? Like our parents, like our culture is based around food and drinking. So I like think working out is so important. Like as I see most of my parents and their friends and stuff age and like things be more difficult than my friends who aren't Persian and like their parents are just more active. And I'm like, wow, it really matters. So
And
it does
I
matter.
feel, yeah, I feel like it's here in the U.S. like it's such a big thing, like
Yeah.
in Mexico, yeah, there's people that work out, there's some that don't, but here I feel everyone works out, like everyone. It's insane. Like if you're not working out, you're not part of like the cool kids.
But it really does make a difference. Like, I mean, we're totally turning this into a workout podcast, but it does make a difference. It really does because I see the difference in like my friends' parents who, because I'm at an age and we are at an age where our parents are all older. And my friends' parents who like were very active physically are just aging better. And like they always say, like working out is not to lose weight, it's for health. Like that's the reality of it. Like you could work out. I mean, I worked out like crazy and I didn't lose a pound because I ate like a cow. Like
Yeah, no,
so
of course. Yeah,
but it really is a health thing. But anyway, so I'm
so,
glad to hear. I'm really glad to hear that you've
yeah.
been going. I'm excited. I
I
can't wait
told you.
to.
I told you I was gonna go.
I
I
know you
was.
still have to do 15 more times. So you're at.
I know. Today was the hardest. Like today was the hardest day. Like still, I was like, oh no. But you know what? Like because on Tuesday, Wednesday, my body hurt a lot.
Oh, I bet.
Um, but then like Thursday came along, and I'm like, okay, like I still feel some pain, like if I move here, or like if I. But yeah, today was way better. Like I woke up, it just was the waking part of it.
Mhm.
Um, and because I don't have to go into the office today, so I can usually wake up a bit later. And so I was just like, like I could go at the 6 a.m., but then I was like, I'm already going at 5. Let's just keep going. And so mentally was the hardest, but
I bet.
physically it wasn't that like bad because now my body is fine. I'm not having those pains. So yeah.
I mean, you recouped really quick. I remember the first week I joined a class like that. I like didn't even want to drink water because I couldn't even sit to pee. I couldn't bend. I was like, I'm like, I'd rather be dehydrated because like the idea of like taking steps to walk to the bathroom and like trying to sit after all those squats, like no fucking way.
I
So
know.
you
Like when I
you're doing
got
good.
Yeah, on Tuesday it was lower body, and I got home and I showered, and I was like brushing my teeth and just like standing, and my legs were like shaking. I'm like, oh no, like I need to sit down to brush my teeth because I just was like standing there. It was I don't know, like
I
but
know, I know. I think
yeah,
anyone who just starts working out again knows exactly what you're talking about. It's hell. It's hell. It
yeah.
really is. And it makes you like never want to get to that point again because you're like, I'd rather just keep working out than giving myself a time off to get to that again.
Of course,
Like,
because I don't want to go through that again. So yeah,
no, it's the
yeah,
worst. It's the
yeah,
worst.
exactly.
All right, today's topic to me, I don't know, when I was like, because reading the notes and stuff that we wrote and stuff, I was really like fired up. Like, I think this is such an important topic because I think that we have so many people who, not, I don't say complain, but like they want to meet someone and their actions are so out of align with their intent of what they're wanting to do. And I
Yeah,
think it's so freaking important that if you intend to do something, or if you want a certain outcome, your actions have to align. So you have to intentionally make sure you make decisions and choices that align with your wanted outcome. And funny that we're talking about working out because I equate this with so many times I have friends who are like, oh, I really want to meet somebody and I really want to meet the one. And yet they never go online. They never go out socially. They're like literally hoping that someone breaks into their house and that intruder is like the hottest thing ever with a private jet that whips them off. Like they're on some Rapunzel bullshit dream. They make no fucking actions to be out there to meet someone. And I mean, I always tell them, like, even if you burn your house down, there's no promise that the firefighter is going to be single. Like, I don't know what they think is going to happen inside the confines of their living room, besides and not being online, how they're planning on meeting someone. But they really have no actions that follow their intent. And it drives me fucking insane. Like, just insane. Like, I just feel like if you wanted to lose weight and I was going to McDonald's every day and never working out and eating like garbage, you would think that's fucking crazy. And you would be like, okay, just admit you don't want to lose weight. So why do we sit there and listen to people complain about wanting to meet the one when they're literally doing absolutely nothing? They're not even driving to McDonald's. They're Ubering that shit. There's nothing that makes them leave their house. They're not out socially. They're not part of clubs. They're not part of groups. I mean, nowadays people don't even have to go to the office. Like they are home all the time. So, they're Ubering their groceries, their food. They don't leave the house. So it's
I
really,
understand. I understand what you're saying, but sometimes there's like a past, or there's something that is not allowing them to do it. And like I am I am like an extrovert.
uh-huh.
I talk to everyone. I like if any reunion or any party or something that I'm invited, I may go with someone, and then but that person, let's say it's the birthday person, and they invite me, but I don't know anyone. I'll start talking to everyone.
Mhm.
But and yes, I do want to meet sometimes someone, like I do want to have a partner, like a girlfriend or something. But sometimes the intent, like I wanted, but it when it comes to being that, hey, how are you doing?
You don't have to
I'm
sound like a total pedophile. You
I was trying to sound
don't-
like Joey from Friends.
Well, that's definitely not joy. That's like one step away from
I have a
what are those
band.
harassment? What are those they call them? When you can't go near somebody. I forgot
I
what they're
don't know who you
called.
hang out with.
No, but they always have them, and like it's like when you physically have to be 100 yards away from someone. That's what you sound like one of those creepers.
Like if I had a restraining order or
Yes, a
something.
restraining order. That's the word.
Okay, so
Okay.
how you doing?
Yeah,
Okay,
there we
so
go. A little better.
okay, so so I'm not so I'm introvert in that. And so it's hard sometimes. And that is coming from someone that is extrovert, but when it comes to meeting someone, I'm introvert. Like
But
thinking
Benjamin,
of
anything
I
worth doing in life is hard.
yeah,
Anything, if you want an outcome, there has to be some sacrifice. And you can either sacrifice being single and alone, or you can sacrifice putting yourself in an uncomfortable situation. There has to be a sacrifice somewhere. So, what is more important to you? The uncomfortable 15 minutes or hour or whatever that is, maybe usually 30 seconds if someone turns you down, it could be really quick, but,
or
or
an
uncomfortable.
eternity of
Yeah, well, not in terms of whatever it takes for someone to break down the door of your house. But you know, there has to be a sacrifice, and
correct.
there
Well,
has
yeah,
to be an uncomfortable. So you got to choose your uncomfortable, and that kind of actually goes with being honest with yourself. What is it that you actually want? Like, I also see the opposite. Like people, and like I think you have to be honest with yourself. Like I never said I wanted to be in a serious relationship when I was dating that rule of three. And for new listeners, the rule of three for me was always dating three people at once. I didn't want something serious. So one person was commitment, two made me compare the two, three made me not care about anybody. So I had the rule of three. If I was honest with myself, I knew I didn't want a relationship. So I dated around and I enjoyed my life. When I wanted to be with someone, that shit had to stop because that's showing a different intent. Those actions don't align with what I wanted, right? So
yeah.
that was a sacrifice. Like, again, like, I have guy friends that sleep around like crazy and date everything in sight, and then they claim that they want a girlfriend. Well, as someone at my age, I'm not going to see a guy who sleeps around with everybody and think he wants a serious relationship. You know, his intent don't align with his actions. So you got to, again, be honest with yourself. You know, what are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to do uncomfortably for you? So what's more uncomfortable for you? And what is it that you want for an outcome? Maybe you don't really want a relationship. Maybe you do. Like, what is it that you want? And then align your actions to that purpose. You know,
True.
there has to be give and take, right? So
Yeah. That was deep.
that was
No, it
that
was
was
like that's yeah, I mean it was like shit. I mean, you have to put in perspective. Like, is it it's just gonna be 15 minutes talking to someone, or like you say, 30 seconds. You could be like, hey, and they could say bye, like right away.
I had that happen
And
last weekend. This poor innocent guy came up to me and my girlfriend, and he was just no one's type. Like right off the bat, he was way, way not our type. And right off the bat, I said, "Thanks so much for coming up to us, but we're just trying to enjoy the
thanks, but
evening
no thanks.
together." Yeah, I said we're just trying to enjoy the evening together. You know, there was another guy who was a total fucking creepo and wouldn't fuck off, and so we just ignored him until I finally said something to him. But I mean, yeah, those, at the same time, if you're doing it respectfully, like the guy that we said thanks but no thanks, it was uncomfortable for him. And I respect that it was uncomfortable for him. He was a kind, nice person that genuinely walked up to us. It was uncomfortable. And we respected the fact that it was uncomfortable. We weren't rude. And sometimes people are rude, like
Yeah,
it just, I sound like I haven't been turned down. We all get turned down. It happens to all of us. We're human. Shit happens. It sucks. And we have to, respect the fact that people are putting themselves out there. But I give him total credit for coming up. Really,
yeah.
I do, like, and that's kind of another thing. Let's get a little more fucking deep. But
Wow. Okay.
that's like another thing. Like, I think that you can't, if your intentions aren't aligned with yourself and you're not being honest with yourself, other people aren't, like, we're not in a naive society anymore. People are so fucking woke. Like, I mean, a little bit too much. Like, I get myself in trouble all the time with things I didn't even know had just gotten on the list of do not say. But
I know it's getting long, that list.
it's getting long. It's so, it's like I'm constantly fucking adjusting because I'm like, oh shit, well, I didn't know. But anyways, the thing is, if you can't expect other people around you to also accept your actions if they're not aligned. Like if you're a guy who sleeps around or a girl that sleeps around, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but if you're like all over the place, dating everybody or doing the rule of three, like I was doing the rule of three, something fucking wrong with it. I was happily doing it. I enjoyed it. I don't regret it. If I was doing the rule of three today and I met a guy and he caught on to that, that's a red flag for him. He has all the fucking right to be like, this girl is not looking for something serious. People are not anymore are going to ignore red flags and be like I remember initially when I wanted to date seriously, I didn't know what to do. I just completely stopped dating because I was like, how do I get rid of all these messages I get all day long? Like I had to really clear the system because if I had as many text messages, like I remember I used to always have my phone facing down and I was hanging out with this guy and he said to me, that is such a red fucking flag. You were clearly seeing more people than you let
Yeah.
on, like you're dating other people. And he was right. I was making sure like my phone was never fucking like ever seen because I was getting text messages from like so many different guys. He was right. After he's like, I don't want to hang out with you. You're not taking this seriously. And this is not the generation where we're like, let me just keep hanging around. Maybe they'll see my worth. Maybe they'll see it and they'll want to date me seriously. No, people want to be respected from the moment they're with somebody. And he was completely in the right to think that I didn't want a serious relationship. At the time, I wasn't sure. Like I was trying to get out of the situation. I just didn't know how to clear the system. And he didn't want to be involved with me. It was a huge red fucking flag. He was like, this girl is not looking to be serious because if she was, she wouldn't be messaging so many different guys. Now, I'm not saying you go on a date with a guy and you clear everything and you try to hope for the best. No, you still go on dates. But I was like really spending time with 3 different guys. I was like seeing each one of them at least twice a week. He had all the right to back off. And I had to really stop completely dating for like a good bit. I mean, COVID really helped with that. It kind of took away the opportunity.
Yeah.
But It really I had to make sure I wasn't getting those messages all the time. I had to make sure that my phone wasn't dinging 24/7. Like, when my best friends lived next door, like, he used to always joke, he's like, "Oh my god, as we hear your music every 5 seconds, we are like, ding, 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 because when you're talking to a lot of guys, that happens. And so you not only need to be intent with make like your actions align with your thing, you need to make sure that those actions are something that are honest and true because the people around you are going to take they're going to sense them. They're going to know. Like if you're dating a lot of people or you're spending a lot of time with a lot of different people, that person that you want to be with or you're not sure about, they're not fucking dumb. This is just not we are just well aware now they're going to catch on and they're not going to want to be with you because they're not going to put themselves in a position to be disrespected because we used to see that as like trying to win the person over, like, oh, he's dating five different girls, I'm going to make sure that he just commits to me. I like me personally, I don't want to do that. Like if you don't see my worth off the bat, I'm not going to try to push it on you.
Of course.
So it just, I'm just saying, like, your actions, they really speak fucking loud, and you got to make sure they're saying the right things.
Yeah. Again, that was deep.
It was deep.
I feel like this a topic that it really is, it like hits you in a way because you've
It
dealt
does.
with it on both sides, and you're like, okay, I was like this, and now I'm trying to be like this, and you realize the things that you were doing that you don't have to do right now while you have a different vision of what you want.
And you know why it really hits me home? Because I have a lot of friends who are like, oh, I want to, like, exactly what I said, they want a relationship and they don't fucking leave the house. And it drives me insane. And then I used to always try to like fix their actions, not realizing that my actions were also just as bad. Like I used to think, well, I'm out there. Like you should be out there. You should be going on dates. But I was like leading situations on in the sense of spending way too much time with more than one person. Like I wasn't just going on 1 or 2 days to figure out if I like the guy and then going on another date. So
Yeah.
I was saying I don't want a boyfriend. Well, at that time, I was starting to want to have a boyfriend, so I'd stop saying that. But my actions didn't speak like that, and it really blew up in my face too, right? So it's really like it fires me up because it makes me realize like we just have to make sure that everything we want in life we sacrifice and put the actions towards it. To me, it's no different than like something as obvious as like wanting a job. Well, you better be fucking applying for it, like you just got to be doing the actions that get you there.
Yeah.
And consistency is so important. Like I can't just go on 1 or 2 dates and be like, oh, like I see this a lot too, like my friends are like, well, I tried the online thing, like I talked to a few people, it didn't work out. Well, yeah, you got to be consistent. Like I can't go to the gym and eat healthy for 2 days and expect to drop 20 pounds in the next like 5 days. Like it's just,
I
it
wish
doesn't work like that.
I wish it was like that.
I know, I think we all do. I think we all do.
Yeah.
I think it's just that is a life dream, but the reality is like that you have to put the time in it. It's just like those I used to be such a fucking yo-yo dieter. I would juice all the time and think I dropped 10 pounds of fat. It was just water. Like
Yeah.
it's the actual true actions and the consistency of those actions that get you towards your goal. And we know the reality is like eating healthy for months to drop a real few pounds of fat, not of whatever bullshit water. Well, you got to go on a bunch of fucking dates and be consistent, be online, talk to people. You got to be out. You got to join groups. If you're, you know, shy, find a fucking activity like a sport that you're good at doing and find a way to interact with people. You have to be out. Like another thing is like I stopped doing groceries online. I started going to the grocery store because guess what? That's another way to interact with people. Like you need to physically be out there and physically interacting with people in order to hopefully meet someone. You don't know. You can be at the grocery store talking to some lady and she's like, "Oh my god, my neighbor would totally be for you." You don't know. You have no idea until you go out.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you with this gym thing, like you have no idea. Maybe the owner is obviously it sounds like she's taken or whatever, but she might have a friend and you would never fucking know or know her or anybody, or you might just make some great friends just from going to these classes.
Yeah. And it's people that I've never thought that I don't know anyone. So it's just new people that I cross paths with, and eventually something can happen out of that, and it could be good. I mean, it's gonna be good no matter what, but maybe something better, maybe finding someone, maybe, yeah,
Well, that's another thing too, because you were talking last week about how you want to be this healthy version or whatever. So another thing that I think is really important is when you are being out there, like you're actually putting yourself in a position to meet someone in the lifestyle you want, right? So I also another thing that drives me crazy is like I know a lot of people, and I'm not saying I haven't done this as well, but just talking about it in in generic form, is that we date people that don't fit our lifestyle, and then we complain about it. Like, if someone, like right now, you're putting yourself in a position to possibly meet someone in the lifestyle you want. You said you want to work out, you want to start working out. That's part of what you want to do. Like,
yeah.
so maybe I want to start like playing basketball. I would join a basketball league. You've joined a fitness thing. If there's a
You're not
certain
that
life,
high to be a basketball player.
but I can dunk. No, I can't. I can't.
If
I
somebody
can't.
throws you,
If they lift me and then they're on a
yeah,
ladder, maybe we'll all work together. But you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta
yeah, I
be
know.
in the lifestyle you want. Like you can't also like date someone that does like for instance, like my girlfriend fucking hates bands. She fucking hates them. She hates going to band things. She doesn't like going to concerts. And then she keeps matching with guys that are musicians. Well, that's not putting yourself in a situation to meet or be with the type of lifestyle you want. Maybe you want to try it, explore it. You tried it, you don't like it. She's tried it, she doesn't like it, she can't stand it. Then why does she keep swiping on them? And
Yeah,
you're doing the exact opposite. You're like actually doing stuff. Like you should be doing the things and being the person that you want to attract. Like I can't stand hearing people say like when I meet someone, I want to like start working out with them. When I meet someone, I want to start trying these new restaurants. When I meet someone, I want to travel. No, if you are wanting to meet someone at that lifestyle, you should also be in that lifestyle because that person who's in that lifestyle wants someone who's also doing the same things. And the chances of you doing them and meeting someone are actually much higher than waiting to meet someone and hoping that they also like those activities. Like if you're traveling, maybe at LAX you meet somebody that like we met at the airport while on the plane. Like if you're really into traveling, find a way to travel, whether it's solo or with friends or doing those tours. Like be in the lifestyle you want that person to have with you.
yeah.
I think it's just so important, you know. And a lot of people nowadays they wait to meet someone to start living. Like they're like, well, I don't want to do this. My friends don't like doing it. I don't want to do it alone. Do it fucking alone.
Oh yeah, I'm like that. I don't care. Like I like going camping and like in a tent, like not glamping. I'll go put a tent, make a bonfire, cook my food like on the fire, like that. And I love doing that. Just being outdoors is just amazing. And so I know a lot of my friends, they're like, "Oh, but what if we get a cabin? What if we need a bathroom?" I'm like, "No, fuck that." So I just like, no. And so I'll just grab my car and I'm like, "Bye, I'm heading out this weekend."
You go by
And like,
yourself.
yeah,
You don't get scared.
by who?
I guess are there bears in like Austin?
Oh no, there's no bears. But there's like rattlesnakes and
Ooh,
coyotes and
coyotes are
there may be
spooky as
some
fuck.
areas that have bears or oh, you know what there are like pumas
Oh, those are so
or
cute.
like
Okay, it's not that
oh
bad.
yeah, I mean, but they're huge cats. They'll kill you.
I know, I know.
Um
I used to ride
uh,
next to a mountain lion all the well, not next time, like we'd
or
see him sometimes at night.
yeah,
But they don't
mountain
usually do
lions or like
anything.
I mean, you never know. But yeah, so I don't mind. Like I'll do it. But yeah, or like I'll go to concerts and I don't mind. Like I'm gonna go on October to a concert by myself.
See, that's
And
so
I
important
did
because
that. Yeah.
that's no, wait, that's so important because you're actually more likely to meet someone, not even to date, just interact with people when you're by yourself because you have no choice but to talk to the people around you. So it's
Yeah.
actually positive to go. Like it's actually a good thing to go. Like I went to a speed dating event recently. My girlfriend didn't want to go, so I went alone. I didn't meet any guys. I wasn't interested in guys, but I made a new girlfriend, and that was great.
I was okay. Now that you bring it up, they're bringing a speed dating here. I've never gone on one. How are they?
I had a lot of fun, but I'll tell you something. I went or like I, I'm early type person, so I was hanging around. This girl came up to me. She was like, "Are you at this for this event?" I was like, "Yeah." We had like 20 minutes before the event started, and then a other bunch of girls came. I met some really fun girls. Like the girls were great. Um, some of the girls left because of what they saw. Like there was an age range, and the age range was, I think it was 45 was the highest. I think that's what it was. I can't remember. But the guys that were, you could tell were waiting for the event were clearly over that age. Clearly. And
Yeah,
so there wasn't that many guys at the time either. And so they left. So I would tell you that for me, it was a lot of fun. The experience was a lot of fun. I wouldn't do it again because when I was speaking to the guys, a lot of them were regulars. They do this like once a month or whatever. And it wasn't my type of, for that event or the people that host that event, they weren't my type of guys.
hmm
I did meet a guy who I wasn't matched with during the event, but he came up to me afterwards. And then we ended up going for a drink after. He was really nice, good looking, but just not my type. Um, it was a lot of fun. And the other girl that did it, like I went out with her last weekend, actually we were talking about it. It was a lot of fun to her too. She also didn't think the guys were her type. Like none of them. There wasn't even a single one that was her type. But um I think you should definitely go and try it. It's a lot of fucking fun. Whether you want to go again, I'd understand why you wouldn't. You never
yeah.
know though.
But
You
yeah,
know?
I kind of feel like I want to just go because I mean I've seen it in movies and TV shows. You
Hmm.
know, like you see it and you hear about it. And this is like the second one they're gonna have here in Austin since I don't know. I think since before COVID they did it. Then COVID happened, and so I don't know that there are a lot. I have not seen anything
Uh-huh.
until now, and they were like, "We're finally back!" and it said something like for the second time here in Austin. So so it may be like it's not done that much that you're not gonna find that reoccurring people like you were saying, like they're just going and going and going trying to find out,
Well,
like
that company, they sold packages. So like if you wanted to go like twice a month, I think it was, or once a month, like you paid in those that, so they had a lot of regulars. I still say it was like when those girls left before the event hap happened, and
hmm
me and the other girl stayed, and then after we all switched, we all changed numbers, and they were like, "How was it?" And both me and the other girl both said like exactly, like it was worth the experience, exactly like you said. Like we see it on TV. I've always wanted to experience it, so I would definitely do it all over again, um, because it was such a fun experience to like try it out.
yeah,
I didn't think, but again, you're in Austin, like it might be a whole different event for you. You may meet somebody, like why not try it? I
yeah,
don't know if I would do it a second time in LA with that company. If there was another one, of another company that also signed up around that age range, because the only reason I signed with that one is there was an age range, whereas the other ones I see around LA so far I've seen, they're like anywhere from like 25 to 50, and I'm like, well, that's too big of a range. So if I did, I would probably try it again, but not with that company. But yeah, for sure, I think it was fun. I really enjoyed it.
yeah. I might do it. I can't remember exactly the
And you
dates.
might meet some people. You might like, you know,
Yeah, yeah, like you met friends,
yeah.
girlfriends, but yeah,
It was the wrong type of person, but it was still somebody. I mean, I enjoy meeting people, so I was happy to
yeah,
make friends from it. And they're not that much. I think like ours was only like 40 or $60. Like it's worth it, I think.
yeah.
It's the same as you go
This
for
one,
dinner.
yeah. Well, okay.
That's
I'll
it.
check it out. I'll have to see if I'm here during those dates, but yeah.
But yeah, let us know if you go.
Oh, of course. I will let
Okay,
you know. Yes.
I'm excited. Um, I was gonna say though we didn't like get to commend you. Is commend me like congratulate? We didn't say how good you are for doing stuff by yourself because that is a big hard thing for people to do. So it's amazing that you go camping and do these things by yourself. I think that's amazing.
Thanks. I mean, I just if I want to do it, I mean, I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna. I don't want to lose my chance of doing something just because no one else wants to go. I can do everything by myself. Like unless it was like something that it had to be two people, but yeah, even movie theaters. Like I don't mind going to the movies by myself.
I actually prefer it by myself because I don't have to even try to pretend to listen if someone wants to talk. Um, but I was gonna
Oh,
say
I
something.
don't like anyone that talks
But
during a
people
movie.
tend to,
No,
or they tend to make
no,
a
no,
comment.
no. There's
It's
a
the one
really
time
good
I
movie
shut up.
theater here. There's a really good movie theater here. It doesn't have the best seating. It's not like really. I mean, it's comfortable, but it doesn't have like those big chairs where you can lay down. But it's intended for people who really like movies, and so you have little notepads and you leave like a little piece of paper for your order, your drinks or whatever, and servers go by and just pick it up and they go and then they bring it back.
Oh,
But
that's
if
awesome.
somebody is talking or on their phone or something, you can like leave a message and put it there and they'll go and tell them, hey, we got a notif like somebody told us that you're
Oh,
on your
no
phone.
way.
Do it again and we'll kick you out. And they'll go and grab them and kick them out. Like it's like that intense. Like they don't want anyone bothering because people are paying to watch the movie, and so you can make people or you can have people get kicked out.
That's awesome. I mean,
Yeah,
honestly, like movies is the one times I shut up. I have a few friends I may take with me there to this movie theater.
I might take you to
um,
a movie theater when I'm there if I ever
yeah.
go. Yeah,
um, but I do think it's great that you go. And I think that's another thing. It's like, again, those are being like, for instance, it's like you're doing things that you would hope your significant other enjoys doing. And by doing them yourself, regardless if you're with somebody or not, you're putting yourself in a place to possibly meet someone who does those things. Like, I hate camping. I'm one of your friends that would not go camping. So you would
hmm,
never see me out there, but you might meet a girl who does do that already, right? So you're really putting yourself, you're participating in the life you want with someone else versus waiting for that life to happen to you and waiting to meet someone to start living that sort of life.
yeah,
So that's awesome. I think that's awesome.
yeah. I mean, I sometimes I like if I go to a concert and like the concert that I'm gonna go. If I ever meet someone in that concert, a girl, and she's by herself, I mean,
Uh-huh.
I would be like, wow, like another person that does this and likes this guy or like this artist. That would
You're
be cool.
more likely to meet somebody who does the things you like to do while you're doing them. And that's the funny thing. And people don't like to do them by themselves, or they drag a friend that doesn't want to be there. So the whole experience is not as enjoyable as it could have been. And they just don't do it. And then they bitch and complain that they don't know how to, like, they're not living the life. They're staying at home. I wish I could be doing this. I wish I could be doing that. And they really could. No one's stopping you but yourself, right? I guess
Yeah.
that's another thing that we say uncomfortable. Like, are you uncomfortable missing out on your life? Or are you more uncomfortable going by yourself? Because to me, missing out on the life, the one fucking life we have while we have it, is way worse, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah. And going back to the topic of today, intent. Like if your intent is to go to that concert and maybe find someone, well, go to it, and maybe you're gonna find someone. Like you have to stop overthinking and something that I do. I mean, I'm talking also to myself. Like I need to stop overthinking of oh, what if she says no, or just
Mm-hmm.
go for it if that's what I want.
Well, yeah, because a lot of the time, like, we're complaining about not having results, but we're not even doing the actions, right? So, like you said, like, you're like, oh, I can't go up to the person. It's so hard for me. I can't. But it's like, actually, you can. You're choosing not to. You can do everything. Everything in life is a choice, right? So, like,
Hmm.
we're complaining to ourselves. We're like, I'm not meeting anyone. I can't go up to people. It's too hard for me. Well, then that's the choices of the hearts you're picking, right? So we have to be okay with that, and we have to accept which way we choose to be. So if you choose to be someone who can't do anything and doesn't do anything, then you're getting the exact result that your choices are making.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
that
guess
is
we're just
so
saying, like,
so
be the
true.
person you're looking for. That's what we're really saying, right? And
Yeah,
don't complain if you're not doing the actions.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that was a
that's what we have to do.
this started as a heated topic, but I feel like I got everything I needed out.
I know, and again, I feel. it hit you. I mean, and it hit me too. Like everything you said, there's some things that I do need to correct and like steer the other way or do actions that that can make me maybe find that person and stop thinking of, oh, what if she says no? Oh, I'm kind of introvert. I don't know what to say. I'm just gonna start with hey, how you doing? And see what
I really,
happens.
I really think that's the way you should never start. But like I said again, we don't want a restraining order. but it is. I think we all go through that. Like yours is that. Mine was like changing the way I was going about dating. So everybody has to adjust. Like I think we all go through that period, right? Like we're always forced to do something that doesn't feel natural. For me, it was way more natural to date as many people as I could and hope that one worked out until someone was like, "Well, fuck that." Like I'm
Yeah,
not your test dummy with all these other guys around, like so
someone is gonna stick.
yeah, someone's gonna be deaf enough to handle me talking all the time. Just one of them. No, I was looking to be in love, but I didn't know how to love somebody. And I really wasn't in a place to actually, and that's another thing, like we should add, like, you have to make sure you're dateable. Like I was all over the place, like wild child. I didn't even know what it meant to like slow down enough to like give someone the opportunity to love them and feel loved or there to be chemistry. I was like a bulldozer. I was just like going through life doing whatever felt fun in the moment. And that I had to change a lot of aspects of myself. I had to fix what was unappealing because I wouldn't have dated someone that was doing the things I did. Like my mom used to always say to me, like, you date like a man, like like the way we portray men, like back in the day, like they just do whatever they want. They sleep with everyone. They do everything. I wasn't sleeping with everyone, but they were dating with everyone and they were doing whatever. Like they had a perfect girlfriend at home, but they would cheat on them here and there. Like like all this, like what we see in the movies back in the day, what a man was portrayed as, I was doing as a girl. And I never cared about how my actions reflected on the person I was with. And that isn't how you show someone love and care. So I wasn't portraying what I wanted towards other people. So I mean, everyone has to adjust, right? Like you have to not be as broken. You have to work on yourself. It goes back to that surgeon that I went out with, that I brought up a bunch of podcasts ago, that was like, yeah, I have issues, but like the right person will fix it. And I was like, homeboy, like we are in 2023. You need to fix yourself. Like
Yeah.
I'm not here to put you back together. You work on yourself, be the person you would want to date, and present yourself to the world that way. And once you do, with consistency and time and patience, the right person will come. But if you're constantly this damaged, overly reactive, aggressive person because of whatever baggage you're carrying, and you're hoping someone, and you're not doing any activities, and you're like not into like anything that you're hoping that person would be and bring out of you, well, that's not anybody else's responsibility, and they're not even looking for you. No one's looking to fix Humpty Dumpty anymore. Like it's just, we're not that society. We see red flags, we avoid them. So be presentable, be consistent, and work on yourself to be and live the life you want to live with somebody else already.
Yeah.
I feel like I've repeated it like 50 times now. So I'm good. I have nothing else to say. And all
I
my
have
venting is
nothing else to
out.
say. I have nothing else to say. I really liked everything you said. Um, and and as always, you bring some truth to my day to day living and stuff that I need to work on, and I'm pretty sure many other people need to too.
Me too. Me too. You do that for me too. All right. Well,
I'm
I
glad
guess
I
have
can do that.
a really good weekend. I mean, next week we talk about Oh, yeah. Next when we get back from our trips, we talk about vulnerabilities. That's the next podcast. But I mean, you've
Yes,
got a really fun weekend ahead, and I'm
I
excited for
do.
you.
Thank you very much.
All right. Well, I'll talk to you next week or the week
Yeah,
after when
talk to
we're
you
back.
next week.
Okay. Have a great trip.
Yeah, thank you very much and have a great weekend and bye everyone. See
Bye,
you next
everybody.
time.
Bye.